Which is more difficult? Landing an aircraft or taking off from an airstrip or from an aircraft carrier? This is something that I've always been wanting to ask.
Gaurav, I won't say it is difficult, and I would say it is different. Because you require the basic skill of flying, which is coming on landing on a runway. Where it is different, I'll just give you one short example. That on a runway, when you come to land, which you would have seen even in commercial aircraft,
Sure.
that the final approach, the aircraft keeps reducing speed.
Yes, sir.
And it comes to fly at a speed which is just short of stalling.
Sir.
So that doesn't stall. You actually fly the aircraft onto the ground. As you come close, you slow down. And by the time you land, your power is fully back. The throttle is fully back. Or
Which means it reduce power.
It reduces power. It's a reducing power approach. So it's fully back when you land because you want to kill the energy of the aircraft. It's got so much of energy, 100, 200, 300 kilometers. From there, it must slow down to zero. And then it rolls on the runway.
Sure.
And you start applying brakes gently or reverse thrust in the civil aircraft. And gradually you bring it to halt. In the aircraft carrier, it's just the other way around. That when you are coming to land, first you don't know. The landing spot is just 2 or 3 wires. So that precision, whether you will be able to engage the wire with your hook.
That hook, sir.
Or unhook or not, is not known to you. All right? The hook is in the aircraft. It is pointing downwards. And
Yes,
it's
sir.
like that.
Yes, sir.
And when it is coming to, it is not that it hits the deck and it keeps dragging and then catches the wire. No. It actually comes and hits almost on the wire. Right?
Okay.
Because there's hardly any space. Ships are small.
Yes, sir.
So all the distances have to be made use to engage and kill the energy to zero. But you don't come to know that you have actually engaged till such time you are pulled back by the cable. Now that it is hooked, now the cable is actually pulling you back.
Okay, please allow me to stop you. Let me go back. So this is very interesting. So what you're trying to tell me here is that, like in case of any other aircraft, be it a fighter or be it a commercial aircraft, when you're landing on a runway, you slowly, go into reverse in the sense that you kill the power slowly.
Reducing power.
Reducing power, sir, you come down gently. You're saying here, on an aircraft carrier, the difficulty is not so much in flying. Flying has its own difficulties and challenges. But when you're landing at that point in time, sir, you don't know whether the hook which is attached to the aircraft has actually engaged with the cable which is supposed to pull it back.
Okay.
And therefore,
Okay.
You have to increase your power while landing.
True.
So that if you miss it, you can take off again. Is that correct, sir?
Absolutely. You got it absolutely right. Till the time you are pulled back, when you get the feeling that you have hit the deck, that is the time you have to go full power, because in next few fraction of seconds, you will be pulled back from 250, 300 kilometers. You have to be brought back to zero speed in that 90 meter length of our the landing part. It's called an angle deck. So angle deck is just about 90 meters. Whereas an aircraft on runway uses 2,000-3,000 feet of runway. Here you have to stop. I mean, you don't do anything. You just have to hook has to engage. But you come to know only when you are being pulled back. And that is almost close to 90 meters. That is why it is 90 meters.
And if the hook doesn't engage, then, sir, then you take off again, sir.
Yeah, because that is why the moment you do this, you just bash the throttle, full power, reheat on, so that you get airborne, because hardly nothing is left. You have to get airborne, so you are actually engaging at a flying speed. It's a controlled crash landing.
Wow, sir. Come again, sir.
Controlled crash landing.
You would call it a controlled crash landing, sir?
Yeah, it is. What else can you call it?
On a carrier deck, sir.
Yeah.
So essentially, it comes full power, it slams onto the deck.
Yeah.
And if you can hook it, it's fine.
Yeah.
So what are the kind of G-force that you experience? Because you're going from 300 to zero, sir.
Yeah.
In 90 meters. That's nothing, sir. That's nothing.
What we do is increasing power really not in the real sense, because you still have to land at a particular speed.
Yes, sir.
Because if you land at a higher speed, then you will not, even if you're engaged the wire, you will not be able to stop.
Sir.
Because 90 meters has been calculated at a particular, so margin is very little.
Sir.
And if you are low, then you will stall.
Sure.
So very close to stalling speed. So therefore, the approach itself is a reducing power, but almost a fixed power approach. You hit the landing speed and you are just waiting for the, coming down, waiting for the hook to catch. Now, the moment you get a feeling that you hit the deck, you just go full power. You don't wait till you're back,
Sure.
pulled back. You feel moment you hit the deck, you know that you hit the deck.
Sure.
Seat of the pant.
Absolutely.
So you hit the deck, full power, and now if you have engaged, then she will bring you back and you close the power immediately.
Immediately you switch off power, sir.
No, switch
In
off.
the sense,
You bring it
sir.
to idling.
Idling, sir. Take it.
So that is the difference. Otherwise, and we also had the Sea Harrier, vertical takeoff and landing, which I have flown nearly 1,500 hours. That is also quite similar, except that in the case of conventional aircraft, you land and stop. In case of Harrier, you stop and then land.
Sir. All right, sir. Understood.
I'll just put it in a little easy way. Because again, you're coming at a very high speed. You have a reverse thrust. You start slowing down. And wherever you have to land on the spot on the deck, you
come on top, sir.
You side,
hover.
on the side.
Yes, sir.
Over the water.
Yes, sir.
You're abreast.
Sir.
If you're abreast.
like this, sir.
Yeah.
Ah.
Then you make sure that you start
And then you
shifting.
come like this, sir.
You start shifting.
Yes, sir.
And on the deck.
Yes, sir.
So you should know that now when you are flying at 80 feet or 90 feet hover, you cannot see the spot. You can only see end of the deck. So you have to pick up visually some marking on the superstructure of the ship. So what we had done, we had drawn a white line.
Sir.
So that, you just keep flying, formatting with that. And as you keep coming down, initially you reduce power. But as you come close, you have to open power. Because, when you have a vertical landing aircraft, as you come closer to the deck, the wind flow from the front, actually it washes the column of jet exhaust and the aircraft begins to sink. So you will have a very hard landing.
Sir.
If you want to reduce that hard landing, then you just come up on power. But if you make a mistake, then you will not land. You will bounce.
You'll bounce, sir.
So it has to be a really hard landing. We call it a firm landing.
Sir.
So as you keep coming down, at some place, you say, okay, fine, I think now I'm going to go into the wind deck set, and it will land. So you will find an Harrier, it will appear that it's a heavy landing.
Sir.
But that's the correct landing. It's only two wheels. It's got a nose wheel and it's got a belly wheel.
Yes, sir.
Wheels are only two, and two are outriggers.
Sir.
They are only meant to support the wing. They're not meant for landing.
Sir.
They're very weak.
Sir.
So the theory is by and large same.
So, but the ATC is guiding you all the time, sir. I'm sure they have an ATC also, sir.
Yeah.
They'll have an ATC.
Yeah, they have FlyCo, flying control. Yeah.
Flying control, sir. Yeah. So the FlyCo is telling you left, right, go there. And all. Wind, humidity, all that.
Yeah. Those things are given.
All those factors you will get, sir.
What
You have to
happens-
get those factors.
Once you're in hover, if they find the hover is steady, they will tell you, let's say my call sign is 21. 21, shift and land. Or he may not tell you anything. Once he has told you clear to land, which means you are clear to land on your own, because you don't want to get distracted. There are too many parameters to be noted.
Sir.
Firstly, you have to format with the deck. The damn ship is moving.
Yes. Oh, yes.
So
it's not stationary,
it's not
sir.
stationary.
Moving at 10, 20, whatever knots
Whatever
it's moving,
knots.
sir. It's moving.
So your aircraft has to keep moving at the same speed if you have to format.
So essentially, sir, you're saying that your landing strip
Yeah.
is mobile.
Yeah.
So it's like it's moving like this and you're also trying to move like this. and
You're
land.
formatting with the
You're
ship.
formatting with the ship.
Yeah.
Okay.
So 20, 30 knots. And also you're making sure that you're moving sideways and you're not losing height. Because when you move sideways, the aircraft loses height. You have to add a little bit of power. Because some part of the vertical thrust is now taken by the sideways movement. So you require to, it's a little bit of a trick there.